Unless otherwise indicated, all the following scripture quotations are taken from the Holy Bible, New Living Translation, with copyright by Tyndale Foundation, used by permission of Tyndale House Publishers, all rights reserved.
So I've recently joined the online worksphere again, and I spotted a potential scam pretty easily. So I thought I'd share some tips with you. Let's have a look. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm the one they call Peachy by, and you are most welcome to join me right here. Okay, so talking about online jobs. In my experience so far, online jobs that are going to pay are going to be task-based work or project-based work, and you're going to work with professionals, and you are not going to work as remotely as you would think. It's not like you just jump in and do everything on your own, and they leave you to own devices. That's not, in my experience, that's not how it works. I don't have like a billion different online jobs worth of experience, but I did work with one company for like a year. So I kind of know the vibe of how they function. And I also know that other companies that I was applying to work for at the time when I got that job, they have a similar structure set up, and they are very sort of organized. It's not like you sign up and you get a task and then you're on your own completely. It's a very organized kind of thing, because they make sure you're doing your work, they make sure they're getting their projects on time, all that kind of stuff happens. So I thought I'd share with you guys a little bit about how to avoid scams, because there's a ton of scams out there. There's a lot of people promising the world, but a lot of people saying, I didn't receive any money after I did all the tasks or met the requirements, and they're not communicating with me. So I'm hoping to help you guys avoid that, and let's get right into it. For some online jobs, they will require you to send in a CV. Not necessarily all the time, but some of them do require you to send in a CV. Now, what I've discovered is that if the job position that you are applying for, right, and the ad says something specific, and you think you have the skills, you apply for that, and then the person contacts you, and the sort of interview of you or the way that they talk to you doesn't have anything to do with the job that you are applying for, there's a chance that that's a scam. So that's something to really pay attention to. The job should match what you are applying for or what you are intending to apply for. Okay, now this recent company that contacted me, their lack of professionalism immediately set off some alarm bells going on in the back of my head. And it was because they messaged me on WhatsApp. And they asked, can we chat to you about this position? I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, sure, because they said your CV matches what we're looking for. And I was like, this sounds great, let's go. And they did not actually have a kind of conversation with me, but there was a lot of in the person's typing or speech, whatever you want to call it, they did not use capital letters, they did not use full stops. The speech was very, very informal, and that was very concerning for me. Also, I wasn't too concerned about the timing that they messaged me, because I thought there's potential for this company to be in a completely different country and work at completely different hours. So it wasn't much of a concern, but it can be in some cases. So watch out for lack of professionalism. Usually companies will contact you via email or whatever contact number that you have provided, but it will be a very professional type of thing if it's a legitimate company. If it's not legitimate, you'll notice all the spelling mistakes and those kind of things, grammatical errors and things like that, if you're good at that type of thing as well. A huge red flag. A lot of people say this all the time. If it's too good to be true, then it's really too good to be true. And this is very apparently true, very, very apparent when it comes to online jobs and online work. Because if your task, right, is going to take you 20 minutes, why would they pay you $200 for that task? It's going to take you 20 minutes. Surely they could do that themselves. It doesn't make any sense. And in my opinion, you should follow the money. You should really follow the money. Where's the money coming from? Who is the money going to? And what is your role in this exchange of money? And that is why it's important to pay attention to that when you are either receiving training or asking for training and figuring out how things work, because some of these companies are trying to avoid taxation as well, so they're not going to check that you have all the forms and that you are properly getting taxed from your situation, which can end you in a ton of nonsense on your end. If a company doesn't have good reviews, it's kind of obvious that they're not going to give you a good service, or you might be one of the very few people that do get a good service from the company, but chances are you're part of the majority and you're either not going to receive a payout for work that you've done, or they're going to pay you less, or any of those type of things, and it's going to cause problems. So it's best avoided. But in order to figure out whether a company is a scam, I like to go to a website called Scam Advisor. It's not perfect, but what it does is it checks all like the SSRL certificates of the website and the website age. It checks where the website's registered and who is the contact information for the owner of that domain, all that kind of stuff. And that kind of gives you an indication of whether or not that person is being transparent, who owns the website. It's like I've said, it's not 110% reliable. You do have to maybe do a little bit more research, but it is helpful if you start seeing some red flags and you see, okay, Scam Advisor says this is not a company to be trusted. The reason I say that it's not 100% reliable is because Scam Advisor takes into account how recent the web page is, and there are some small businesses who have only recently acquired websites, and they'd also probably have a low trust rating on Scam Advisor. So just be cautious of that. But if it's a company that's claiming to have been in existence for the past 40 years and have had an online platform for the past 10 years, but their website was only registered like 2 months ago, that's a little bit of a red flag there, or a large red flag actually. Okay, so these guys that contacted me wanted me to sign up for this website and do all these kind of other tasks without actually explaining to me what the job I'm going to be doing is and how the whole thing works. They were adamant about, oh no, we'll explain it during the training, but would not even give me the basics of what the company is and how it works. And I thought this is very problematic, because I want to know what I'm getting paid to do. What kind of skills am I going to be using to work for you guys, and what are you requiring from me? Don't just tell me that this job is easy, it pays well, and you only need 20 minutes a day, it's only on your cell phone, blah 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 blah. Don't tell me that. I want to know what it is I'm going to do, because I want to know if I'm capable of it and how much training is going to be required. So I found that really strange that they wouldn't like outright just tell me. That for me set off like serious alarm bells, and I was like, okay, I'm probably done with you all right now. If the website does not look what you expect a website should look like from a company of the size or whatever they claim to be, that's a serious red flag. If the website has spelling mistakes, if the website does not have easy contact information, contact page, all that kind of stuff like that, if the website looks very hastily put together, chances are you're dealing with a scam. If the website has conflicting information, like this particular website had like a London, like a business register, like a sheet of that with a number for the business, but the paragraph above that said that the business that was a registered one, this company is a subsidiary of that one or something like that, and it wasn't making much sense to me. And so I was like, yeah, no, I'm kind of done with this. Also, the website itself looked really unprofessional. It looked like it wasn't well put together. Even the company's logo sometimes had a hyphen in between the two words and sometimes did not. And I'm like, that's really inconsistent for you claiming to be a company that's been around for 30 years. That's something that a company that has been around for 30 years would pay attention to. And so I thought that was important to know. Yeah, so those were 6 tips to avoid being scammed while doing or looking for online work. Another thing to note is, do not do any work unless you have some sort of contract or whatever in place that says you're going to get paid and this is the job that you are doing. because then it sort of like seals the deal. This is a legitimate thing. This is not like I'm gonna hope I'm gonna receive something at the end of it. Working for a company like Pixelogic Media through Cape Town Audio Post was really good because they had this very sophisticated system of you sign stuff, you do your tax information, you do all those things. So you can be assured that this is a legitimate company and they're doing everything above board. And that, I think, is the most important thing when it comes to working online, because you don't want to get hit by SARS in the face, and also you don't want to be exploited. But yeah, so those are my tips. As I discover some more things, I will update them and make another video. And thank you so much for being here. Please comment if you agreed with me or disagreed, or if you have something to add. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And let's go to our scripture of the day. Your scripture of the day comes from Isaiah 42 verse 3, which says, "He will not crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice to all who have been wronged." Alrighty then, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope that you have an awesome day further, because you absolutely deserve it. Cheers!
그대 잠깐 눈을 붙일 때 나는 마음에 물을 붙여요. 비밀의 나만의 초콜릿. 그대